And that's where it comes in where they sign and trade for Duncan Robinson, which that was announced a little over an hour ago, which we can talk about that. I will say when it came across my screen, we shouldn't really be surprised. We talked about it yesterday. Luke Kennard, Gary Trent Jr. We named Duncan Robinson, guys that can shoot the ball. Gary Trent re-signed. Obviously, Luke Kennard went to the Hawks while we were live, so Duncan Robinson was still available. And they decided to do a sign-and trade where they send Simone Fontecchio to the Miami Heat in exchange for Duncan Robinson, and they sign him to a 3-year, $48 million deal, about $16 million per year. It is more than what you would have paid Beasley. I think Beasley was 3 for 42. That was the reported number.
Yep.
This is someone who had almost 200 makes last year. The thing is with Duncan is you talk about Malik and how he's not a good defender. Duncan is an awful defender. I mean, he is a liability defender. So the defense, it's not like the guy's bringing anything on defense, but what he is bringing is he can shoot the hell out of the ball. He shot 40% last year. And when you look at Duncan Robinson's game, I think he had the stat. It was like on one dribble pull-up threes. He shot like 45% or something like that. And I also saw Ryan, what he just said, Duncan's second year of the deal, partially guaranteed, third year non-guaranteed. Yep. So it's structured favorably to the Pistons. But I will say, I like the player. I think if you need shooting, you got someone that has played. He's played in the finals. He's played it for the Miami Heat. They've been in the playoffs. He's made shots in big moments. You know, he's played on those stages. He's obviously the Michigan man, along with Karis LeVert, but just the player Duncan Robinson, it's the best you probably could have gotten in terms of shooting left in free agency. So I like it. I don't mind it. And it's a tradable contract, in my opinion. You know, you can
be very tradable.
Move this.
Yeah, and you can even waive them if you want to after a certain point as well. Without the guarantees. Now, I like it. I'm all in on the Duncan Robinson train, man. He shoots like 40% from three. I did say anyone over 37, I'm locked in at. I'll say this. I'm still like last night we got off the show. Gary Trent Jr. goes to the Bucks. I don't know if you guys saw the price for that. The Bucks signed Gary Trent for basically $3.5 million a year when Malik Beasley was about to get 14. In my opinion, same player, same exact player. And I was a little disappointed in a guy like that the Pistons don't go in on. And I would have spent like $10 million a year to go get Gary Trent Jr. Maybe he didn't want to. I don't know. But yeah, Duncan, it seems like it's just like a last resort move, in my opinion, which does it make this Pistons team like better than you were 2 months ago when you're playing in the playoffs? Can I be honest with you guys? No, it doesn't.
I've interrupted the video to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Comer & Cross, and their one-day installation for concrete floor coatings, garages, basements, patios. They do it all. And I'm sure you're tired of staring at your crack-stained garage floor. Well, I have the answer for you. Comer & Cross in their summer installation sale, they're offering 12 months same as cash or $500 in savings. Why put it off? You can contact the number, 248-834-3488. They transform patios, pool decks, basements, even driveways. They do it all. And the best part is they move the stuff out for you. They repair your cracks and pits before applying your stunning new floor, guaranteed. Comer & Cross concrete floors never chip, crack, or peel like epoxy or paint. Again, you could call the number, 248-834-3488, or you can book your free estimate at comercross.com. Let's get back to the video.
You're either the same or maybe a little down, in my opinion, as of now. Now, if you add more pieces, like, do you guys think Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson is better than Tim Hardaway Jr.? Who am I missing? Tim Hardaway Jr., Derek Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder and Malik Beasley? No, they're not. And that's essentially how you kind of replace those three guys so far. And yeah, there's still moves to be made, but I would say, like, I'm underwhelmed, in my opinion, with the free agency. I am. And I know, like, I wasn't expecting anything. I know everyone's out there like, Trajan said not to that he's not going to make any moves. Okay. I didn't expect him to make any big moves, but I at least expected him either to bring back those guys, which Malik fell through, or I expected him to bring guys as good, if not better. Do I think he did that? I don't think he went out and did that. I think you can compare those guys at the same level, if not a little lower than what you had. Personally, that's how I feel about it, to be honest. I think they're good signings for what you needed, but that's not like anything significant at the end of the day.
Yeah, I like the Duncan Robinson signing just for the fact I think you're pretty much replacing Tim Hardaway with that. He's worse on defense but more consistent on offense, so it's a draw there. Malik Beasley, you're not getting any better than that, in my opinion. I think LeVert's nice and he can add some offense to that bench. But I think the way that they can kind of upgrade this as far as make this team better is get like a true wing for this bench. Like get somebody that can play defensively because Asar's not going to be able to play all game and lock down the best defender. You need somebody that second unit that defensively can hold it down and put a little bit of size and athleticism out there because they have offense, what you want with Duncan, and then they're going to get it with LeVert as well. And then you look at some of the younger guys they have coming up. But if you have Ron Holland down there with that second unit, pairing another 3 or 4, I think would be good for them.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I'm not going to sit here and say they're better than they were.
If you want to add an Ivy there, someone just said it. If you want to add Ivy, okay, maybe.
But just on paper, like factor in Ivy and all just the bench. Let's just stick with the bench. Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dennis Schroeder, and you go to now Karis LeVert, who I think actually I love Karis LeVert. I
think he's a good player.
I know people are a little more negative on that one. That's fine. It is what it is. I'm not jumping up and down with joy, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad signing. I think it's a fine signing. I don't mind it at all. The Duncan Robinson one, like obviously it's a downgrade in my opinion from Malik Beasley. I think that's the obvious point, but the reality is this is kind of the only. This is how they decided to pivot. I mean, he's the next best thing available. I wish they could have gotten better players. I do. I don't think they're done. They do need a wing really bad, to what you said. They do need a backup 4. And I'm looking at free agency right now, and there's just not really anyone out there that's
no. Everyone's gone. That's why I'm a little underwhelmed with the free agency. And again, like I didn't go into free agency being like Trajan's going to make the big splash moves. Like that's not what I don't think people expected when he had his press conference. He literally said he wasn't. But you still expect him to make moves and moves that are going to help this team push forward. And it's like it doesn't feel like this team pushed forward as far as he could have. Like, and I think, yes, you want to like rely on the players in and develop within, but you still have to bring and like add talent that's going to help elevate this team. And I love Duncan and Karis LeVert. You guys know I'm a Michigan man, but I mean, we're talking about where you have a 16, 17 point per game scorer and at 11 points and at 12 points. So you're, what is that, 30 plus points, boys, 40 points almost. And you added 2 guys that combined for 20-ish points.
Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, FisherCTSports.com.